are you dealing damage to him, dude? Let me look at the fucking Conqueror! I like how it has literally 0 concealment.
Hello, Commander.
What's up? Got my chieftain. I've always wondered what... How do you ask a question in a way that is just true? It's not chieftain, it's chieftain. It's like when you say Hampton. It's like ton. It's a ton of chieftain.
Ton of chief sounds suggested.
Ton of chief. Are you a ton of chief? It's like we're shooting spitballs. Come on, it's armor-piercing composite rigid. We can put a bullet into one of these nuggets over here. One of these nug boys. Bobby nug boy. Swifty in here.
The track is damaged.
How? Where'd...
Focus on this area.
I was playing one of the other, my favorite tank game.
Enemies got us in their sights.
Even though it's so easy for me now because I've played it 1,000 times. And that's Seek and Destroy.
Load it up. Let it rip. Penetration.
I could probably speedrun that game in like 4 hours. Easy.
Enemies moving right at us. We didn't penetrate their armor. Locked and loaded. They've spotted us. Good hit. Find out here.
No! The conch is so accurate. No, you shared him with a pea shooter. Fuck off.
Focus attention here.
Fun fact about this thing in real life, the Chieftain is actually one of the first tanks that came with 2 engines in it. And no, not for double the horsepower, it was actually a redundancy in case the first engine got damaged. You could still drive home the tank without leaving it on the battlefield. My controller disconnected. It must mean it's fully charged, because it does that. That could have got me killed.
Target locked. That one drilled straight through.
Holy shit, 2 engines, that sounds like a lot of gasoline.
No, they use the same pickup line. It's just literally like if you had a truck that instead of having an incredible amount of horsepower, it has 2 lower horsepower engines. Like instead of having a V8, you have 2 V4s. But then in terms of the tank, it actually has a bigger main engine and then a smaller auxiliary engine. The small auxiliary engine can only go like a quarter of the speed the main drive engine can. But like I said, it's just in case the tank gets damaged or the engine is like not repairable on the battlefield. They can still start up the shitty little engine and then that can still drive the tank because it's connected to the same other stuff. It probably has its own gearbox though, I'd imagine. If you have a low horsepower engine, you need a much more drawn out gearbox in order for the tank to actually drive properly. Or not drawn out, you need a gearbox with bigger gears in it. You want less of a top end, more of a bottom end. That's why a lot of the tanks in this game only go like 20 kilometers an hour. Wow, this thing is expensive to repair. Wait. I didn't even realize. I only made 800 silver. Oh my word, dude. I just realized. This thing has worse spotting than the other two.
Dude, I was doing the Uber Dan with the Froscher 1414 demon, and on the drop you don't even have to hold down the left stick, it just sinks too.
If you push forward in the air, it makes you fall faster. It's not that you won't fall fast, you just fall faster holding forward, even if it doesn't look it. It's what all the speedrunners do. It's like one of those things where it shaves off so little time, but because it still shaves off time, it's still a thing. It shaves off way more time in the other boats, though. In the proto offshore Mach 1, not the Mach 2, the Mach 1. The Mach 1's better than the Mach 2, actually. The Mach 2 sucks. The one that you start out with is way better. You should be doing the powerboat races with the proto offshore Mark 1. That one is the fastest. The Demon is for special events. I don't think I ever used that thing in actual races because it's so much slower than the proto. You saw how fast the proto can go. You literally go so fast off the beginning, you will wheelie onto people.
Yeah, I have both, but my powerboat level is almost maxed now.
So just put the parts on the other one and you'll see just how much faster it does go, though. Wow. I can't believe they made this a mercenaries tank. What a fucking disappointment. They're like repaving the roads out there and it feels like I'm sitting on a fucking woman's vibrator. It's so bad. Because the ground is so solid around here. So bad, dude. The ground is shaking. And if you put your feet on the ground to absorb it, then it's just your feet that are like... Sorry, it's just so loud. I know you can't hear it on the mic, though. My mic does a pretty good job of somehow not picking it up. That is until I go outside.
There's an earthquake?
No. They're repaving the friggin' roads around here. But they're so old and have been repaved over, they're digging it up to the base concrete that they put down. And it's just this machine that's going on the friggin' ground as it goes along, bashing up all the concrete. And so you just, the entire ground just feels like it's being vibrated right now. Must be great for the gals.
That is the sound of wasted tax dollars.
No, the tax dollars are going to Marauder tanks in other states and stuff like that. Or Marauder Jeeps, whatever you want to call them.
Enemies got us in their sights. Lost a track. Track repaired. Drive on. Ready to fire. They've spotted us.
This is like the most modern tank that you can get in real life.
They hit one of our tracks. We're immobilized.
These things had one of the most advanced computer systems in them
Reloading.
when they were introduced.
Track is up. Let's move it. Enemies looking right at us.
It has, in real life, it has a built-in stadiometer,
Camo net deployed.
which is a thing that is used. If you don't know what that is, you know how in the doctor's office they have the little laser thing now that can measure your height. You don't have to use like the old school thing. Well, a stadiometer is just used to measure height. It normally uses a laser or some form of electronic to guide it.
Track's back up. Go, go.
And this thing had a stadiometer built into the
Got us in their sights.
detection, and it could detect how far a person was, what elevation they were at above the tank itself, and then it could calculate how to fire the shot in a way where it wouldn't miss.
Good. Didn't go through. That's it. We're 86.
Its only downside is it has very, very bad hull armor for a heavy tank. Every battle that I lose with this thing, I pay 30,000 silver to play, basically. Himmelsdorf. Down by the wharf. Except there's no actual water anywhere nearby. Get out of here, waffle. You dang waffle. Dang no.
WTF, why so expensive?
They've spotted us.
Because that tank is one of the most futuristic tanks. Like I said, it's the most modern tank out of any of the tanks in this game.
Throwing up the camo net. Enemies looking right at us. The tractor's damaged. Enemies got us in their sights. They blew off our track. We're stuck. Locked on us.
No!
Enemies looking right at us. Pierce their armor.
You fuck off up there.
Fire on target.
Mind your own business.
They spotted us.
Get your friggin'
Drop
dick
the
nose out of here. I know where you, like, I know if you're awake. I know
locked and loaded.
if you've been bad or good. So be good for goodness sake.
Shock up another one.
Paladin ain't no
Enemies got
match.
us in their sights.
Try a warrior. I'm a warrior. Stop doing that. You freaking rude dude. Oh no, now he's just gonna hit my ass
Lost an ally.
with his mustache.
Let's go.
Get your Italian out of here.
They've spotted us.
No! Wasn't fucking fast enough. You need to be quicker, Tex. Oh, fucking dillweed, stop moving.
Enemies looking right at us. Target locked. Punched a hole in their armor. Locked on us. They destroyed one of our tanks. We're immobilized. That's it. We're 86.
Oh. Everyone else on my team was basically not trying. I even opened up a spot for that E100 to turn around the corner and shoot, but he didn't want to. Oh, I was like, I'm going to buy another tank. You don't have the money to do that, bud. You don't have any money. You can't buy that, bud. Yay, toggle timestamps started working again. I don't know what made it stop working a week or two ago. One second, let's go out. Maybe you'll be able to hear what's going on out here. It's great, isn't it? I wonder if the mic can still even pick that up. I'm guessing it can. The shouldn't be too bad. They're getting farther and farther away now. They do night paving, and because it's the morning, they've stopped. Shut up, you friggin' one cricket. There's always the one cricket that's underneath my tarp over there. I can see him. What the fuck was that? Daddy Longlegs just fell from the cross member. I hate street sweep things, because now they're also sweeping the new sidewalk where they put in the new stuff to make it all look the same. Even though it's like they put in new of sidewalk in places, but didn't fill it in other places, so the guys going along and resurfacing the old shit. Then they have a street sweep type thing that comes along and cleans up any of the little dust and debris. Think you wouldn't need a street sweeper in this kind of place, but yeah. You need it more than you need it down south. Even though down south it's dusty, you get all different kinds of shit up here because of the salt in the spring when all the snow is melting. You normally have a street sweep that'll go by 2 or 3 passes on the same road, because they try to sweep up all the fucking salty shit. Try to. Of course, most of it just washes away in the water table. In fact, like 95% of it does. The shit that gets caked onto the roadway in the form of a white precipitate, whatever you want to call it. So normally in the spring, all the roads around here look like they have white stain on them. Looks like someone took chalk and just went across the road in these lines that match the contours of puddles, and it just covers the entire road surface except for where the tires are, because the tires pick it up and kick it up into their frame. And if you don't have a corrosion resistant under like skid plate type stuff, if you drive a car in the north, it's going to get rusty, and it'll get rusty fast no matter what you do. That's why whenever it's winter around here and I see a freaking nice muscle car go by, I'm like, well, that guy doesn't care about his car. He cares about it enough to drive it, but he doesn't care about it enough to not drive it on the salty-ass roads and wait till the summer. Because once the street sweeps go by, then it's completely clean. And you can not worry about getting little salt and water granules kicked up into your frame and then have it rust, because they don't have... Because a lot of companies, when they put the body on the car, there are these little seams where like the body panels meet, and they don't weld them shut all the way down the side, so you end up with these little areas that hold water and salt.
The enemy is defending a position up ahead. It's our job to take it from them.
A lot of 90s and early 2000s model Ford and Chevrolet pickup trucks were like that. That's why a lot of those cars rust out. A lot of modern cars have body panels and plastic panels that are made to help protect from water and corrosion underneath. It also doesn't help the cost of using this thing that every bullet is 1,000 silver as well. But yeah, earlier I was talking about a PlayStation 2 tank game that I play called Seek and Destroy, and it has basically all of the same tanks that this game has in it. Well, it doesn't have as many tanks, because it doesn't have all the weird prototype ones, but it has a couple prototype ones, and then all of the ones that were legitimately made. Like the tank I'm using now is in that game, for example, and one of the main allies in the game actually drives one.
Focus on this location.
Or do they drive a Challenger? It's either a Challenger or a Chieftain. It's a British tank.
Ready to fire on target.
Oh, he's shifty.
Loaded and ready.
He's Lucius.
Got him on. Like that one went right through.
The bullet speed is something I'm not used to with this yet. I'm not used to
Focus on this area.
I'm not used to firing APCR. It's the black round down there. Normally it's a premium ammo type.
Target locked. Ready to fire on target. Enemies got us in their sight.
That tank needs to be overpowered for the time it cost.
Oh my god, I can't even see who I'm being shot at by, because scouts won't scout.
Target locked. What's the hole in their armor?
I mean, I can understand why it costs a lot. It costs a lot to operate in real life.
He's looking right at us.
I don't even know if it does side scraping very well.
Pierce their armor.
I'm surprised it actually hit them.
Loaded and ready.
257. Object.
They destroyed one of our tanks.
Turn on the second engine. I don't think they have it counted as having both engines in this game, just because this game has to stick to the game's, like, set mechanics. But definitely in real life, models of these have 2 engines. It's why they couldn't go that fast, even though the tank is actually way lighter than a Conqueror. Because it had so much extra weight on it. It can go faster than a Conqueror though, but if it didn't have half of the extra weight on it, it would be able to go almost the same speed as a Centurion.
Ready to fire on target. Enemy spread. Ready to fire.
Wow, good shot.
Pierce their armor. Target locked. We did it. We won.
The lock-on should be more advanced in this thing. Jesus. Again, you barely pay out with this tank. Even when you do good. Well, good. That was average. It was mediocre at best. This tank has a very good gun on it, though. And that's why I like it. I love this gun. The aim time and accuracy is just insane. I still have to do a couple more matches with this guy before he masters this tank. Again, it's lock-on system. It should be able to hit tanks automatically by just doing that in a second and almost dead on every single time. This tank was right on the era of tanks becoming automated lock-on turrets. In this era of tank, you still had to pilot the turret. You still had to have someone that controlled the elements of it, but the computer would aid you. The computer would tell you, I don't know, I guess you'd say feedback on the terrain, and would give you like an approximate, this is how far and how high this person is. If you aim like this, you have like a this % chance to hit it, sort of thing. But the computer didn't actually control the turret. It just told you what the turret was looking at and what it was doing. Using a laser, which would be mounted right on the top of the tank.
It should highlight weak spots after aiming at the tank for a certain amount of time.
Or wait, no, is it that little, I think it's the little extra nozzle thing right there. I can't zoom in on it individually, but it's like the little thing that looks like a gun above the turret. I'm pretty sure that's it.
Ready to fire on target.
What?
We're shooting spitballs. Gun her down. Gun her down.
I think I'm dead.
Penetration.
That's 15 grand of damage. I need my gunner.
Okay, gunner is back on the trigger.
I'm not much backup, bud. I'm just a chieftain.
Enemies looking right at us. Got her.
Try some of this hash. Get the hash.
Locked and loaded. They've spotted us.
See, I told that guy the other day, I told him you can bounce hash. I knew you can bounce hash. If you know what hash is in real life, hash stands for high explosive stub head, if I remember.
Track repaired. Nice job. Ready to fire.
Squash head. There you go. Sorry. Not stub head. What the fuck? Squash head. High explosive squash head.
Enemy armor is damaged. One of our vehicles destroyed. Enemy's gun is on their side.
A high explosive squash head is a flat-headed bullet that when it hit it, well, it's not flat necessarily, but when it hits, it squashes and it explodes on contact. And I told the dude the other day, he was like, I don't think you can bounce hash. Because I was playing with him yesterday morning, and I was like, yeah, you absolutely can. 100% bounce hash. High explosive squash heads have higher pen than normal heat. If you were wondering what the benefit is. Because of the way the bullet hits, squashes, and then the explosive force gets put out along the surface of where the bullet squashes against. Another Sorry, I was reading that. There is a skill that you can get for your commander that does that. That'll highlight weak spots after a certain amount of time of looking at a guy. But I already know most of the weak spots. And when a person's side scraping like that, there is no weak spots. Not on that type of tank anyways. The guy I was just fighting. That's why I had to use the squash heads, because I couldn't hit him with the APCR. I just bounce all day. See, this has normal heat. This does not have HESH. And even though the caliber or millimeter of this gun is bigger, it actually does less damage. Or actually it does more damage than the Chieftain, but because the pen is inconsistent, you'll not deal damage consistently. Most of your damage is done via splash. Not even direct hit. And the other thing about those squash head rounds is they have way lower bullet velocity, so they're harder to aim at a long distance. And up close, you're getting the maximum pen value, which is like 160 or something like that. Whereas the pen for the armor-piercing composite rigid, that one, you get, I think, 330 or 335 as the max pen. Whereas a normal armor-penetrating round stops at around 314 and goes slower. Composite rigids fly way faster, in order to make up for the fact that they normally are a lighter weight bullet. So they have to use the most amount of charge they can.
Enemies looking right at us. Ready to fire on target. The driver's a goner. The controls aren't responding. We've got a lot. Unlocking target. Enemy is hit.
I'm dead. At least this tank doesn't cost nearly as much to repair.
We fixed the track. Let's roll. We lost the track. We're sitting down.
5 HP.
Locked and loaded.
And dead.
Track up.
Nope, he went for other guy. Go to dead end me.
They've spotted us. Focus on this area. Go for it. Everyone get out.
I knew that was gonna happen. I knew it though. I was trying to tell that guy the other day, I'm like, I don't know if real world physics apply to the world of tanks physics that determines bullets bouncing. I don't think it does. And I just bounced a HESH, so. Not that that's like a crowning achievement. It's just. I did it. Not that you'd bounce a higher pen hash, but I'm hemorrhaging money using this chieftain. Oh my god, I made 16,000 silver, which is negative 15, negative 17 grand. Because of all the bullets I fired. Sadness. Well, it's time to use other stuff that doesn't cost as much. Until I can make some more money to spend on that thing. You know what I mean? That's what I gotta do. You gotta spend it to make it. Plus, I just got the chieftain because I wanted to try out the gun, because it has a different gun than just about every other tank in the game. Because unlike a lot of other countries where most countries swapped over to smoothbore guns on their tanks, for example, the M1A1 Abrams and a lot of other models of quote-unquote modern tanks use smoothbore guns. Not rifled tank guns. But the UK still uses tank guns. A tank gun means it's rifled normally. Don't ask me why that is, I couldn't tell you. I just know that is a thing. Poppy seed fell into my friggin' analog stick.
It's like we're shooting spitballs. Penetration. Good clean hit. Penetration. Mission accomplished.
Yeah. Easy money. Easy wins. That easy money. My next crew I need something trained on. I'll train that skill I was talking about, but I don't think I'll have any crews that'll need something trained for a while. Shelley Baldwin. This dude. Every time I see his face, I just want to friggin' slap it. I don't know why. He just looks like such a cocky dude with such a cocky tude. Why can't her name be Shelley Baldwin? And his name Sharon Jackson?
Let's go. We're not getting paid by the hour. Let's go. We're not getting paid by the hour. Let's on to victory. Move out. Zafere doğru.
Let's get paid. Let's do this. Let's get paid. Roll out. Let's do this. Roll out. Let's go. Roll out.
Kör över dem bara. Uzahoro kvittjästvi. Vamos passar por cima deles. Uzahoro kvittjästvi. Em direção à vitória. Vamos lá. Tonta, tondin.
It sounds like they got the same girl to do all the languages.
Hadi bakalım. Cümle, vamos acabar com eles. Vamos. Não nos pagam a hora. Lasciansvärdig massa. Schützgeki. Doravante. Hagamos esto. Vamos a por ellos. Facciamoli fuori. Pa maszyna. Vers la victoire. 迈向胜利。下一个走。
Why do the female voices sound so much better than the male voices?
Let's get this show on the road. Let's do this.
Los geht's. Legen wir los.
Los, Judo.
Allons-y. Allons-y.
Бой начинается. Выдвигаемся. В бой. По машинам. Бой начинается. Выдвигаемся.
È ora di andare. Che empiece il spettacolo. Andiamo. È ora di andare. Andiamo.
In
È
Corabuyo.
ora che empiece il spettacolo.
Do boju. Ruszać się. Chcecie żyć w
Jedeme, neplatí nás od hodiny.
Vamos, moet checken. Vamos lá. Está na hora. Vamos nessa. Tonta, tondin. Yola çıkma zamanı.
Let's get paid. Let's go. Let's get paid. Let's do this. Let's get paid. Let's
Let's
do this.
get paid.
Let's go. Let's do this.
Casper Long. Philip Forshit. Frank Tweet. Bartholomew Priest.
On to victory. Let's go. We're not getting paid by the hour.
Allons-y!
Andando. All'attacco.
Ruszać się.
Zvorok widziestwi.
Fremont, move
Roll out! Let's go! Roll out!
Okay, what the fuck is this?
Are you having fun, LOL?
This guy looks like if someone went back in time and tried to blend in with all of these other guys. One of these guys is not like the other.
They want us to capture those objectives. Let's get paid.
Sorry, I forgot to turn my mic back on.
Throwing up gamma net.
Shred the gnar.
They're looking at us.
666. No, he's shredding the gnarliest.
Ready to fire. Target's locked. Target locked. Punch through the armor. Fire at will. Enemy vehicle destroyed. Strike through. They spotted us. Fix the engine. It goes fast. Locked and loaded. Friendly destroyed. Zero pen. Enemy spotted us.
It's a good tank for Bartholomew, because Bartholomew sucks. And so does that tank. If you can't pen an IS-3 from the side, you might as well not even have a gun on your tank. Conqueror can pen it from the front without even blinking. What even is its side armor like? So my gun was struggling to penetrate 90mm armor that's slightly sloped inwards, but only at the top part, which is not where I was aiming. Struggling to pen 90mm of armor with the potential pen of 160. So I was getting the lower end of my penetration at literally pretty much point blank distance. I don't know. Sometimes this game, the 2 plus 2s don't equal the 4. You know what I mean? Those 2s don't equal a 4, man. 160 pen, 90mm of armor. Hold on, I'm gonna take my jacket off.
Hey. Didn't expect to see you streaming at this time.
Sorry about that. I thought I muted my mic when I took it off, but I guess I didn't click it all the way. Only when my sleeping schedule is normal will you see me streaming at this time. Because I normally stream when I get up. That's why I'm always so fucking hungry. I can just inhale an entire person's house of food in the morning. And then come afternoon, I'm like, I don't want to touch food. And then by the evening, I'm back to being a vacuum. And I'll eat a 12-ounce steak with my skinny fat hands. Skinny fat man eating A 12-ounce steak with his skinny fat hands. That's a reference to a song, by the way. You can look it up if you're curious. It's Pero 12-ounce steak. That's the chorus. You ever seen a skinny fat man eat a 12-ounce steak with his skinny fat hands? I've always had a crazy metabolism, but recently I've actually been putting on weight, which is a change.
WTF, my phone just paused the stream for no reason.
I probably hadn't drifted more than 5 to 10 pounds away from 120 pounds for like 7 to 9 years. I've been the same weight. Until recently. I'm like 140 now. But part of that's due to muscle. Muscle weighs more than fat. My upper body has gotten bigger from doing all the yard work that I do. Still have little fucking skinny toothpick arms though. My freaking forearms are bigger than my biceps. Whenever I think of that fucking Family Guy skit with Quagmire when he comes out of the building after finding out about illicit stuff on the internet. Not illicit, explicit. Sorry, there's a difference. And he comes out and he's like, "Okay, hi Peter." He's like, I'm gonna go back inside now." And his arm is like friggin' jacked. They don't call you being jacked for nothing. That's a terrible joke. On a scale of 1 to 10, that's a friggin' 0.1. It's a negative 0.1. Broke the scale. It was so bad they're gonna have to rethink the scale. Next time I come out here, remind me to bring a thing of water. One of my hanging baskets needs it. Whoa. Don't know where my own feet are. Excuse me 1 second, I need to use the bathroom. Oh yeah, that's right, turn in ops. You know what I'm gonna do?
A single day can change everything. One fall day in 1940, we knew Britain was impregnable, protected by...
Why is it so quiet? I just wanted that nostalgic music. Dale Reese. Did I mention that I don't like the way that this guy looks? His portrait is just too jackass for me. Like, if you pose like that, you're trying to be on the fucking front cover of a rap album. You know what I mean, dude? You know what I mean, dog? You know what I mean? You know what I mean? I'm sorry.
Wow, the Red Bull drift track sucks. Emoji crying loudly.
You mean the one where you have to drift onto the boat? I told you that's the worst one.
It is in Central Park, but it is called the Red Bull Drift Challenge.
This was it. The day of reckoning had arrived. Edwards would pay the Germans back for the humiliation and suffering the British had endured at Dunkirk.
Central Park. Oh, in New York? Yeah, I told you. A lot of people think that one's the worst, but it's not.
Word spread that the Germans were hurriedly trying to evacuate
For me,
their
it's
troops
not.
off the
That
shore.
one's just about
Edwards
learning how to
sped
throttle
onwards
control.
towards the
Throttle
enemy.
control and brake control. Also, wait, why am I doing this again? Already completed it. There's one of these that I didn't complete, and I can't remember which one it is. Oh, this one.
The ire of Hurricane Ella had subsided, replaced by the fury of American steel, now headed towards their enemy. Time was running out. The Soviets were making preparations for a missile strike on the U.S. East Coast. Reese wasn't about to let that happen on his watch. With the skies clear, U-2 spy planes had pinpointed the location of 3 enemy launch sites. Everything now hinged on Reese and his unit blitzing the Soviet defenses to reach them.
Yeah, and we're just going to be firing tank bullets willy-nilly around these
His
things.
Walker Bulldog and ordered his
No big
unit
deal.
forward. This was it, the moment of truth. They had to stop those missiles, come hell or high water.
What about low water? It's equally as bad, just not as hard to parse.
Not like anything bad
Reese
can
had to
happen.
face facts. There were just too many spots ahead for an enemy ambush.
They found us. No good. Didn't go through. Looks like that one went right through. Releasing target. We've got 'em on. We pierced their armor. Looks like we're shooting spitballs. Looks like that one went right through. They spotted us. Target locked. We pierced their armor.
What are you two doing?
Ready to fire on target. Enemies looking right at us. Just dig them. No good. Didn't go through. Target locked. Punched a hole in their armor. Gun loaded.
Reese glanced at his wristwatch. Time was running out fast. He had to stop those missiles from being launched at American soil.
The enemy knows our location.
Reese could only stare in horror as the first of the Soviet missiles streaked towards the U.S. mainland. If only he had stopped them in time.
RNG.
Now the world was about...
This is going to be hard. I was just about to say this should be an actual map, but it actually is already a map. It's just a different skin on the map. Like the normal map does not have palm trees.
There were just too many
and you
spots
spawn in
for an enemy
A4.
ambush.
You spawn over this way. So good. Like I said, the AI is better than players sometimes. We gotta wait, because if I cross that green, then the timer starts. But if I stay here, no nuclear strikes would ever happen. Help! Sniper, help! He's just like, what? Help with what? Help me! I wish I could just command and conquer these guys. Just frickin' mouse draw, select a square, and then just frickin' move them. We are going here.
Glanced at his wristwatch. Time was running out fast.
See, all the enemies just
those missiles
popped
being
into
launched
place.
American soil.
No, not my fucking ammo rack. No, I'm dead. See, I told you we'd just be trading bullets right next to it.
Fuck yeah, you show those AI who's the boss of this campaign.
As the first of the Soviet missiles streaked towards the U.S. mainland. If only he had stopped them in time. Now the world was about to be...
You can't retreat. What use is that tooltip on the screen? You can't retreat. It's a timed mission. The hardest part is keeping the AI alive long enough to do it because they're so bad and not getting my fucking ammo rack damaged. I swear it happens so often in the campaign. It's 2 missions in a row where I've had a damaged ammo rack.
Spend 5,000 silver and get a repair kit.
For an enemy ambush.
No, because then it will just happen again. Hello?
Looks like that one went right through.
I want to wait until the heavy's over there. Can you two idiots not run into each other? My bodyguard is always trying to stay near me, so he's the only person who's not going to go that way. And see, he fucks with all the other ones' AIs.
Reese glanced at his wristwatch. Time was running out fast. He had to stop those missiles from being launched at American soil.
Torched him! I'm wheezing! The Pokemon! Come on, go through him! Why is there all this red and no bullet going through him? And ammo rack damaged again. Fucking A. Every time. Where is everyone? Move the fuck up! Every time. Stupid fucking ammo rack. And now I'm gonna lose a guy. It could be any other thing. It could be the engine, the turret ring, the gun. It could be anything else. It has to be the ammo rack, so I can't reload. He's in object 416 this time. Get him!
Friendly vehicle destroyed.
They had a 416 and a LTTB. Are you serious? Get the LTTB. Then the Matilda 4. Actually, no, get this one. And I did it without collecting any ammo pickups.
Deal, but the missiles had been destroyed. Against the odds, his unit had done it.
Mission accomplished.
The battle for Cuba was over. Against the odds, Sergeant Reese's unit had managed to halt the Soviet missile launch before it was too late. This was a bittersweet victory. Many of Reese's men would never see the hero's welcome waiting for them back home. The Soviet crisis had been dealt with, for now. Would never realize how close they came to World War III that day, nor the part he played in ensuring the uneasy peace between the United States and the Soviets remained in check.
Challenge mode. Isn't that already hard enough? That was brutal. Seems pretty bad. I don't think you ever get those offers again. Not that it bothers me. Stout. Carl Stout. Rocinante? What the hell?
Black smoke on the horizon heralded the approach of the Soviets. The war was slowly grinding to a halt, but the end would not come quickly enough to spare the townsfolk from the wrath of the Red Army. The streets of Swede were now filled with people in panic. German High Command had instructed Captain Staupe to make a strategic withdrawal from Schwedt.
See? I knew how to say it.
Let their defenders leave so easily.
That guy behind the guy in the foreground, what is his eyes? He's like, die. I have no idea what's going on anywhere. I can't see Captain, Instructor. We're just letting him be in the military because we feel bad for him. Pay no mind.
Captain Staupe was well aware what this meant. Even if he did manage to push the Soviets back and save the town, his superiors would brand him a traitor and seek his immediate arrest. But that would have to wait for now. The defense of the town was his immediate priority. He would have to save worrying about saving his men and himself for later. Captain Staupe had sworn to protect the town from the Soviets at any cost. A new threat had appeared, with enemies approaching from the north.
Pillbox? What is this, Command and Conquer? I compensated way too hard.
Enemy forces had been spotted through the lake. The relief in his men was clear to see. The building had been saved. The town was being attacked from a new direction. Captain Stappa ordered his tanks forward to meet this latest threat. Enemy reinforcements appeared in the south. More enemy units were advancing from the south. Lost, along with the reward Captain Stappa and his men had fought so brave before.
No one could even damage him. Literally not a single person on my team put a bullet in that guy. How is that my fucking fault?
Captain Stappa had sworn to protect the town from the Soviets at any cost. A new threat had appeared, with enemies approaching from the north.
Son of a German gun that can't hit anything.
Enemy forces had been spotted near the lake.
I don't think a pillbox was a tank turret with sandbags around it, but okay, Wargaming.
clear to see. The building had been saved. The town was being attacked from a new direction. Captain Stappa ordered his tanks forward to meet this latest threat. Enemy reinforcements appeared in the south.
I swear. Wow, I'm choking on my own spit. I swear the first time they didn't kill half of the turrets. And now this time, all of a sudden, they're magically dealing enough damage to kill the turrets like crazy.
From the south.
Come on, die already! What the fuck? Son of a bitch! This is why I don't use German tanks. They all fucking suck so bad. You make a giant, massive iron, and you can't bother to put one piece on it that's actually good. No wonder you fucking lost. Morons.
Reinforcements had arrived, just when it looked like the battle had been lost. With the enemy attacking from every direction, the situation looked dire for the defenders. Stappa had realized the enemy was going to try outflanking them.
No! I'm dead.
The lost.
Fuck!
Along with the reward Captain Staupe and his men had fought so bravely for. Black smoke on the horizon heralded the approach of the Soviets. The war was slowly grinding to a halt, but the end would not come quickly enough to spare the townsfolk from the wrath of the Red Army. The streets of Swede were now filled with people in panic. German High Command had instructed Captain Staupe.
Why am I watching this again? Watch a bunch of goofy Germans have shitty tanks.
Protect the town from the Soviets at any cost.
And then one guy stuck a toothbrush to his fucking lip and became the leader. German history 101. I'm sorry. Not actually offensive. Why does he fucking have to be at the perfect fucking angle, dude? But banana bread at work today, dude?
Enemy forces had been spotted near the lake.
Hell no! But banana bread at work today, dude? Hell yeah! If you've never seen that fucking video, that shit kills me every time. But fucking banana bread at work today, dude.
The relief in his men was clear to see. The building had been saved. The town was being attacked from a new direction. Captain Staupe ordered his tanks forward to meet this latest threat.
Captain Staupe!
Enemy reinforcements appeared in the south.
Have you watched that though, Taters, yet? starting to wonder if I could even kill that.
More enemy units were advancing from the south. Town was lost, along with the reward
Are
Captain
you
Stalpa and his men fought
serious?
so bravely for.
There's a lot of bad things in this world. Like fucking skunks, dude. Hell no. Like fucking scratching your eye, but it's still fucking itchy, dude. Hell no. I'm gonna have that stuck in my head forever now. It's one of the stupidest, like, random videos that you could have made for something to get popular and catch on. Oh yeah, that's right. Fuck.
Banana bread at work. There we go.
Oh, hi, Bumblebee. Right in my face. It's getting some nectar. I can't believe that there are people that are scared of these things. Look. A bean. Actually, 2 beans. Get the fresh crunch. Squeaky. Slight squeak.
Fucking banana bread at work today, dude. Are you serious?
One more guy needs some water. Whoa. Locust. It better not be a bald-faced hornet. Hold on. Oh, that scared it. They'll eat bees. Hell yeah! You gotta put the hell yeah part, dude. That's half of it. Half of it is dude, half of it is hell yeah, and hell no. Like fucking skunks, dude? Hell no. But fucking banana bread at work today, dude? How? Sorry, I'm done. To me, it's like that joke could be repeated 100 times because it's not even a joke, it's just funny. When something is just funny. Because it is. I doubt when that guy made that video, he thought it was going to get as much as it did. But you know, all it takes is that right person to go like, ha, this is hilarious, let me share it on blah. And then that person just happens to be connected to 1,000 other people who are connected to 1,000 other people. And before you know, it's got 700,000 views in like a couple weeks. It actually started off pretty slow. It was actually kind of slow to becoming popular. It's not as viral as some of the stupid other things like 5-minute crafts and shit. But it's viral enough that when I made the joke to one of the dudes that I was playing with the other day, he saw the thing too. And he was like, banana bread at fucking work today, dude? Hell yeah. Plenty of first aid kits, but my crew members never get damaged. It's always my modules. It's gotten to the point where 700,000 people is a good portion of the population. Because, like, the rest of the 7 billion are just zombies. I'm kidding, of course. But you don't know this stupid joke on the internet that's a video? You're so disconnected. You need to be plugged in. I can't wait until that's the actual future.
Lol, I still don't know WTF you're talking about. It just sounds cool.
At any cost.
Just look up on YouTube. Just search banana bread at work.
With enemies
and the first video that comes up will be what I'm talking about. It's just some dude in like his car talking vlog style to his camera. About his good day at work. fucking banana bread at work today, dude?
Dude, those trees, man, you're harming the environment.
A made-up environment that's not indicative of the actual environment in this part of the planet.
Forces had been spotted near the lake.
I'm sure every other tree is a pink tree.
And his men was clear to see. The building had been saved. The town was being attacked from a new direction. Captain Stappa ordered his tanks forward to meet this latest threat. Enemy reinforcements appeared in the south. Lost.
Wow, this tank is so bad.
Will happen.
I can't even get past the second part anymore, because I just freaking die.
Captain Stappa had sworn to protect the town from the Soviets at any cost. A new threat had appeared, with enemies approaching from the north. Enemy forces had been spotted near the lake. Relief in his men was clear to see. The building had been saved. The town was being attacked from a new direction. Captain Stapa ordered his tanks forward to meet this latest threat. Enemy reinforcements appeared in the south.
Captain Stapa? Hell yeah.
More enemy units were advancing from the south. Reinforcements had arrived, just when it looked like the battle had been lost. With the enemy attacking from every direction, the situation looked dire for the defenders. Captain Stapa had realized the enemy was going to try outflanking them. was lost.
Son
along
of a
with the route where
bitch,
Captain Stalpa and his
dude.
men had fought so bravely for. Captain Stalpa had sworn to protect the town from the Soviets at any cost. A new threat had appeared, with enemies approaching from the north.
Fucking skunks and shit, hell no.
Enemy forces had been spotted near the lake.
Really? Why'd I even put heat on this? It sucks.
The relief in his men was clear to see. The building had been saved. The town was being attacked from a new direction. Captain Stalpa ordered his tanks forward to meet this latest threat. Enemy reinforcements appeared in the south. More enemy units were advancing from the south.
They can't even damage anything. No wonder. They're so useless. The AI I get is just fucking useless.
Reinforcements had arrived, just when it looked like the battle had been lost. With the enemy attacking from every direction, the situation looked dire for the defenders.
Jesus Christ, they put a bullet through me every fucking hit. Not a single thing is a bounce. How am I supposed to do this? The tanks can't hit them. Like, German tanks fucking suck, is the lesson to be learned here. I can't even stay alive, let alone be able to kill 4 1,000 HP tanks from full to nothing, while they do 200 damage a fucking hit to me.
Captain Stalpa had sworn to protect the town from the Soviets.
Shitty Leopard tanks. No American should have ever been scared of these fucking pieces of shit.
Appeared, with enemies approaching from the north.
Thanks, game. Thanks. Really appreciate it. Can't even hit a guy standing fucking still.
Enemy forces had been spotted near the lake.
Already lost a guy.
The relief in his men was clear to see. The building had been saved. The town was being attacked from a new direction. Captain Stappa ordered his tanks forward to meet this latest threat. Enemy reinforcements appeared in the south.
Of course it stopped.
Warning, units were advancing from the south.
This is still just the second wave, because they sent much stronger tanks this time. I can't do anything. I have to keep camping and just waiting for the repair to come up, and then going over and attacking them a little bit, and then waiting for repair to pop up. I gotta basically ignore the AI, because the AI is useless on my team. They just die.
Reinforcements had arrived, just when it looked like the battle had been lost.
Oh, the battle's lost, dude. Especially with a light tank being one of the reinforcements.
With the enemy attacking from every direction, the situation looked dire for the defenders. Realized the enemy was going to try outflanking them.
No, come on! Why do they just fucking surround me? God damn it! Where the fuck is my tiger? You get experience at such a low rate. What are you expected to do this 7,000 times?
Black smoke on the horizon heralded the approach of the Soviets. The war was slowly grinding to a halt, but the end would not come quickly enough to spare the townsfolk from the wrath of the Red Army. Captain Staupe had sworn to protect the town from the Soviets at any cost. A new threat had appeared, with enemies approaching from the north. Enemy forces had been spotted near the lake.
My bodyguard is in a Panther this time. It's not possible to beat if you get a Panther as your bodyguard.
Captain Staupe had sworn to protect the town from the Soviets at any cost.
I can't even get past the first chapter, dude.
Captain Staupe had sworn to protect the town from the Soviets at any cost. A new threat had appeared, with enemies approaching from the north.
That's better. Why do they have to give you random helpers? Why can't they just be consistent?
enemy forces had been spotted.
See, 171 damage. And they do more damage than I do in this shitty tank.
The relief in his men was clear to see. The building had been saved. The town was being attacked from a new direction. Captain Stappa ordered his tanks forward to meet this latest threat. Enemy reinforcements appeared in the south.
My neighbor's out there weed whacking down all the wildflowers. They haven't touched their yard all year, and it's just like the second the wildflowers started to bloom, gotta weed whack it. Gotta weed whack a corner of my yard that has no effect on anything. No one sees it because there's a fence in front of it and everything. Gotta weed whack it. Gotta be out there with an engine, smacking all the wildflowers down. In front of a barn they don't even use. Instead they put everything on the fucking ground. So they have giant piles of wood in front of their fucking yard. Amazing. Like, my neighbor's husband went back to Las Vegas to do actual work because he couldn't make money around here selling tables and shit like that for ridiculous prices that he expects people around here to have afforded. And then, so his wife is still there, and his wife's mother started living there, and now she does everything around the yard, and she has like killed basically everything in the yard down to just grass again. It's like, I mean, I don't necessarily promote people doing that, but I just laugh when people do this kind of shit, because those are the kind of people who are like, oh, I love flowers. If I went out there with a bouquet of flowers and handed it to her, I'm sure she'd go, oh, this is great. And then if I told her, oh yeah, I picked them up off the ground where you just weed whacked, they'd go, exactly. Because they're too fucking stupid to know what the fuck they're doing. One second, I gotta go make sure she didn't weed whack my plants that are over there. Nope, she didn't. Hopefully she's smart enough to realize that that's not just a normal plant. And I hate talking like this way about her, because she's complimented the way that my garden looks and everything like that. Especially where all my flowers are, like I said, and it's like, I don't think she knows, but all of my flowers are from wildflowers that I got the seeds from their backyard last year when he didn't take care of the yard. You know how many fucking wildflowers grow around here? You know how many things in the sunflower family grow as weeds around here? There's probably like 25 different sunflower wildflowers that can pop up in your yard around here. And that's like 25 ones that I know for sure are sunflowers, just based on their morphology. There's probably others in the sunflower family that I just don't recognize as a sunflower. Everything from black-eyed Susans, daisies, things that look like daisies but aren't actually daisies. These little yellow-looking daisies. They all look like, when you look at the plants, they all look the same. They just have different colored flowers and are different variants in height. Except for the Susans. The black-eyed Susans only get like a foot tall.
So
and they tend to grow on the area where it's sloped, but it's just like,
peppers are no good.
It's amazing. It really is. It's like, that kind of shit is the reason why nothing ever grows in areas, and people are always mystified by flowers, because they don't know what a fucking flower looks like, even though they fucking grow everywhere. You don't need to grow flowers. You don't need a bunch of seeds. All you need to do is go to a meadow and get a scoop of dirt and pick out the grass that germinates. Half of the other shit will all be wildflowers. Milkweeds, thistles. Like I said, so many things in the sunflower family, especially around here. There's probably hundreds. Then you have stuff like goldenrod and these wildflowers which kind of look like hydrangeas, but I know aren't hydrangeas. I don't know what they are, what they actually are though. Then we have violets that grow in the lawn as just normal ground cover. Wild strawberries too, like I've talked about before, how a lot of people's lawns around here have wild strawberries growing in them, but they never get to grow to full maturity. So when the person mows their lawn, they mow all the flower clusters off because those get taller than the leaves. So they mow back all the flowers, and then they never even know that they have wild strawberries because they never get to put out fruit. So far, every single neighbor that I've talked to about it didn't know that they were there because they didn't know how to identify them. One of my neighbors back at my other place didn't know they were strawberries, even though he had a strawberry bed. The leaves are identical and everything, they're just smaller. Instead of being about a foot tall, they're only about 6 inches tall. And that's how big a wild strawberry plant gets. In most cases, sometimes they can get bigger, depending on the locale of what wild strawberry it is. For example, the wild strawberries that are native to the UK and most of those islands are much bigger than our ones here in North America. North American wild strawberries are about the size of your thumb. And I mean that as in like where your thumbnail is. Like, just take the end of your thumb, and that's about how big the strawberry is. The peppers are no good? Why do you say that? Are your parents the kind of people where the second the plant looks like it's not doing well, they just pull it out? Because we had a bad year for peppers here. The only pepper plants that did well for me are ones in pots. The ones I put in the ground are all 6 inches tall and have been 6 inches tall since I put them in the ground. They've just bushed out a little bit, and that's it. They put out a couple flowers which have turned into fruits, but I have had hot pepper plants like habaneros that produced like 60 to 100 peppers on one single plant. My bell peppers are doing all right, but again, the one in the soil's vastly, like, neutered compared to the one that I have in the pot.
The peppers are all small. I think the soil here got ruined when we got 6 inches of rain in 2 days.
What were they, bell peppers? If you're having a problem with bell peppers not being big, the problem is that the plant is not synthesizing nutrients because the soil's really bogged down. A thing you can actually do to fix that, not that your grandparents would probably let you because it'd cost quite a hefty amount of money, is you take a gallon of, you take a normal gallon jug and mix it 50-50 hydrogen peroxide to water. So you dump an entire bottle of hydrogen peroxide into this
just jalapenos
thing. And then you take it, this 50-50 mix. It doesn't have to be exactly 50-50. If you only have like one bottle or a half a bottle or something, you can just make the dilution weaker, but you'll have to apply it regularly. And what that does is, what has probably happened is the pepper plants have gone into a state of root rot. And you can fix that by, after it dries out for a day, go out there and give it a little bit of watering with that mixture. Just a little drip right next to the roots. And that hydrogen peroxide will help kill the fungus that is attacking the root system, and the plant will recover really, really fast. Another thing you can do, but this is more for people who have a homestead that they don't care what it looks like, is you can cut the soil outwards from the pepper plants into the ground. You just take like a shovel and you make like a V in a outwards direction from the pepper plant. What that'll do is it'll allow the sun to penetrate deeper into the soil, and it will help dry it out, and it will help cause a wicking motion which makes the water drain out of the hill that you've basically dug out around the pepper plant. It makes like a moat, and the water will want to go down into that area where you move the dirt over, and it exposes the soil a little bit. You don't want to dig down to the roots, but if you can basically cut out the soil around the pepper plant and allow it to dry and then put the soil back there when it's dry, that's a method to do it as well, to deal with root rot. Because it causes the soil to want to drain. Works even better if you have a fork and not a shovel. If you have a fork, what you can do is, after you get the V, you can take the fork and you can shove the spines in the soil really, really deep. Like a foot past where you can get it all the way into the ground, sort of thing. And just get air down in there. A thing I would advise your grandparents to do if they haven't already is raise the garden bed. Put enough soil or get enough stuff so that the bed is actually the garden soil is actually above the grass. Because that will cause it, in heavy rains, it will naturally make the soil want to wick the water away from the garden. Whereas what tends to happen, because most people till their garden in, it actually makes the area where the garden is the sump for all the water that lands on your yard. So all the water gets congregated in your really moist, or your moisture absorbing garden soil. Because it normally has manure and all this other kind of stuff in it, which tends to wick up water really easily. But it doesn't hold on to it for long, and that's why I like using wood chip. It helps with that overwatering problem, and it helps with underwatering because the wood will act as a sponge and dry out when it's dry and then soak up all the water when it's wet. As annoying as most people think, like, wood, having pieces of wood in my garden, it's just annoying because then I have to, like, there's a stick or something, or I'm trying to grow carrots and I don't want my carrots to get, I want a perfectly straight carrot. I don't want it to have branches on it because that's obscene. I hate people that are like that. If you're the person who's like, I only want straight, perfect carrots, don't grow carrots, is my advice. Don't grow carrots in fertile, organic matter-rich soil. Grow it in very loose, perlite-rich potting mix made of 90% compost that you have then just mixed in fertilizer to. Don't use anything else. If you want perfect straight carrots, it just needs to be a fluffy, perfectly granulized mixture.
I found out later they didn't change the soil or dirt, they just put the new peppers on top of last year's dirt, so I am not surprised.
That's fine. In fact, that's perfectly fine. 1 second. But yeah, that shouldn't matter, dude. The thing that matters is if they don't compost their plants, then they have to add stuff. You can't just have a plus sump of stuff in your garden every year.
Black smoke on the horizon.
Plant nutrients have to come from somewhere, and if you aren't making nutrients back out of the plants that you grow, then you're just fucking shooting yourself in the foot. And shooting nature in the foot.
Stalpa had sworn to protect the town from the Soviets.
I'd trash bag my old plants and throw them away so they get pressed into a landfill.
A new
dumbasses.
With enemies approaching from the north.
I can understand if you're not allowed to have a compost bin, but it's really easy to just have 2 black trash bins that are 25 gal that you just stuff all your plants into. They might not all fit initially, but it doesn't take long for that stuff to reduce down. You'd be surprised how little soil can be made out of a lot of plant. You could fill to the brim one of those 25 to 35 gallon trash bins that I'm talking about. Fill it all the way to the brim. And it would only make like a quarter of the bin in soil. And that's only because not all stuff would break down, so you'd still have like small pieces of stick and thicker stems that the bacteria didn't break down super fast.
I'm not exactly sure what they do with last year's stuff, but I know last year we got a lot of green peppers and habaneros.
And it's also just not all years are the same. Never expect similar results unless similar quota is put in.
To see. The building had been saved. The town was being attacked from a new direction. Captain Stappa ordered his tanks forward to meet this latest threat. Enemy reinforcements appeared in the south.
Right now I am doing stuff for the next summit.
You just need to max out your car types, dude.
More enemy units were advancing from the south. Reinforcements had arrived, just when it looked like the battle had been lost. With the enemy attacking from every direction, the situation looked dire for the defenders.
And you gotta practice more. And just racing in general. So we can do drafting.
Stopa had realized the enemy was going to try outflanking them.